Hey everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting a reading vlog where the tarot cards pick which books I read. If you guys don't know, which you probably do if you've been on my channel because I've been talking about it a lot, but I'm hosting a readathon in the entire month of July called the Tarot Readathon, which I host every single year with Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages. It's a competitive team-based readathon, but it is a little bit chiller than some of the other ones that other booktubers have created because it is competitive, but it's kind of also go at your own pace. And we do have like a surprise element, but not everything is dictated by that element. We host this every single year, which I love, and I am trying to read a ton of books for my team, which is Team Cups. Noelle is not on a team, but we have 3 hosts per team, amazing booktubers. Personally, on my team for Cups, I have me, of course, and then Kelsee from Sweetie, and also Sarah from Wicked Reading. I love them, and I'll have all the other team leaders linked down below for you guys to check them out because they're all amazing. There's 12 of us, and then Noelle as well. She is like the magician, the overseer of the readathon because she does a lot of like the calculations and stuff like that, and a lot of like the behind the scenes work. I do a little bit as well. She does a lot more of the actual stuff during the month of the readathon, and I do some of the stuff before the readathon. So she decided last year to stop being on a team and just kind of be like the overseer of the readathon. But I love to be part of a team. I love leading a team. It's one of my favorite parts of the readathon is that just that community. So I'm still on a team. Basically for this entire month, the tarot cards are picking which books that I read for the entire month, but I want to do a reading vlog specifically focusing on just reading what books the tarot cards pull for me. As I said, every single book that I read this month will be chosen by the tarot cards because I want to get points for my team. But I thought it would be fun to do this reading vlog where I just focus on this one readathon, but I am also participating in another readathon at the same time as this reading vlog, which I'll talk about in a second. But for the tarot readathon, basically how it works is you just pick a card, which this one's 2 of Wands, see what prompt it correlates to. It could be like read a book with a one-word title, read a thriller, read a book that has a group of friends in it, whatever the prompt is, and then you pick a book that fulfills the prompt, and then you read it, and then you submit for it, and that's how you get points for your team for the Minor Arcana trophy. It's based off how many pages that you read for your personal pulls. And then we also have a weekly challenge for each team, which is for the Major Arcana trophy. So there's 3 different trophies that teams can win, but for the Major Arcana trophy, we get this thing called the weekly significator card, which is dropped to each team. Each team gets a different one every single week, and basically it's just like another card that we get. So my teams might be the Hermit, and whatever prompt the Hermit is for that entire week, I'm trying to get as many books read that fulfill the Hermit prompt, and every book that I read for the Hermit is 1 point towards my team. And the only time that I can overlap is if I'm reading for the Minor and Major Arcana at the same time. So if I pull the 2 of Wands and I can find a book that fulfills the 2 of Wands and also my team's weekly challenge, which is the Hermit, then I get points for both trophies. So that's basically a rundown of how the readathon works. I thought I would explain it since I will be talking about it a lot. For the next 2 weeks, I'm also going to be participating in July Noir, which is a mini blackoween readathon hosted by Bree from the Locked Booktician. Blackoween is a readathon that she hosts every October, which is basically focusing on reading spooky books like horror, crime books, thrillers, mysteries, all those kind of like spooky genres, but written by Black authors. And July Noir is a mini version of that readathon because the readathon is basically based on this map called Tools Parish, and you have each different location that you're trying to complete throughout the readathon over the course of the years. And for July Noir, you pick one of those and you try to complete all the prompts, which each one has 6 different prompts. The location I chose is St. Tremaine Cemetery, which focuses more on like the horror books. I've never participated in Blackoween before because I never had the opportunity or the chance because I am usually so busy in October. But this year I decided that I'm going to do Blackoween, so I wanted to participate in July Noir as well. So I'll be trying to read a lot of the books for that during this week. I do have next week as well to try to read those books, so I don't need to just like read them all this week, but I'm going to try to read as many as possible, as well as the other books that I have to read for this month for book clubs and such like that. So July Noir actually started yesterday, but I was traveling home from Atlanta, and I also was finishing up Summerween. Even though I was finishing it up like a day late, I still had some reads that I wanted to finish, and I was continuing my vlog till yesterday because I wanted to finish showing off my Atlanta trip. So I decided like we're gonna start fresh today on Monday. Since I finished Summerween, I finished my last card that I pulled, so let's go pull some more tarot cards for this readathon. So the cards that I pulled were Ace of Wands and also the 4 of Cups, but then also when I was like carrying my deck away after I stopped filming, one extra card fell out out, and that is The Lovers. So I didn't get this one on camera, but I am going to count it. So I picked books for all of these. We are about to get a new significator drop tomorrow, so this might change a little bit, but I'm also trying to get my July noir picks in, so I'm doing my best to try and balance everything. My weekly significator right now is one that a lot of books can fulfill, and it is the Two of Pentacles, which is read a book about a character that is facing a big decision. So I don't really know if the books that I chose have this in it, but probably it does have something that would be considered that, because usually a lot of books have a big decision in it for our characters to kind of like promote character growth or drive the plot. So I'm assuming that these books may be able to count, but I don't know if I'll be able to finish any of them today anyways. But I want to get started on this reading vlog and reading for July noir, so I was like, even though the weekly significator drops tomorrow, I'm gonna just pick the books today. For July noir, there's 6 prompts as I said, but one of them is a free space, so I did not pick that book yet, but all the other prompts I picked books for, so I was able to try and align those with these picks. So Ace of Wands is read a book by a new to you author or in a genre you haven't explored. Obviously for July noir, I'm reading really like horror and thrillers, which is a genre I'm really familiar with, so I decided to go with a new to you author. And the one I'm going to go for this one is I Featured the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jamison Shea. I don't own this book, but I have the audiobook out from my library, and I've been really wanting to read this book. And for July noir, it's going to count for read a book with body parts. I asked my friend Aspen because she loves this duology. It's a YA duology and she loves it so much, so I asked her if this book has anything to do with body parts in it, and she said yes. So I decided to put it for that prompt, and I've never read anything by Jamison Shea, so I can count this for Ace of Wands. Then I got Four of Cups, which is read a book that you never thought you would read. And this is kind of hard because the majority of the books that I'm trying to read this month are from my physical TBR, and so if I bought it for my physical TBR, then I probably thought at one point I would read it, but we're just gonna stretch it because all the other books for July noir I physically own, and I want to read my physical books anyway. But I decided to go with one that I was very hesitant to read, and that is My Soul to Keep by Tanana Reeve Dew. I wanted to read Tanana Reeve Dew because she is a black horror author, but she kind of writes more in like the paranormal subgenre, which is, if you guys know anything about me, not my favorite. I can enjoy books in that subgenre, but usually they're not ever favorites for me, and a lot of times I also dislike them. There are some that I do enjoy, but I've never like loved one. I think this has to do with people that are immortal, and I've just always been intimidated by her books in the first place. So I've had this one for a couple years and never picked it up because I was just so intimidated by her books. And then also, again, they are very paranormal, but I read The Reformatory I think earlier this year or last year, and I really liked it, so I was like, okay, I want to pick up this book. And for July noir, I'm counting this for ancestral knowledge because there is like an immortal person in this book, and I think they're being kept immortal kind of by like their ancestors or something to do with ancestral energy, so I'm counting this one for that prompt for July noir too. And then the last card, The Lovers, which is to read a book that has a romance in it, and none of the books that I chose for July noir have a romance in it because I was focusing more on the horror prompts. Now I could use my free space to pick like a paranormal romance or a cozy mystery or something like that that has a romance in it, but I do have a couple romances that I need to read this month anyways, either for my spinner wheel or for my Patreon, so I decided to pick one of those for this, and that is Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese. We're starting a series read along of this on my Patreon. We do a couple series read alongs on my Patreon every single year. So in May, we finished off the Hunger Games series, like reading the new book, and then we took a break in June, and now we're back at it in July with this series, and this is going to take us through the end of the year because there's 6 books, and this is the Bergman Brothers series. It is a romance series. Usually on my Patreon for our actual book club, we read mostly thriller and horror books, so I try to pick series that are kind of outside our typical genres, like the Hunger Games is dystopian, this is romance. I just know that Chloe Leese writes really diverse books. I think in this that our male main character, he has like a hearing aid, so he might be hard of hearing or deaf. And I know this one has to do with sports. There's a soccer ball, but I don't really know much else about it, but people love her work, so I really want to try this series out. And I did have my top 2 tiers vote on which series that we were going to pick, and they chose this one. And I'm really excited to read it, so hopefully it kind of breaks up a lot of the horror and thrillers that I've been reading. I think the first book I'm going to choose to read for this reading vlog is I Featured the Beast and the Beast is Me. I've been really excited to read that one. I don't have the physical book, as I said, of I Featured the Beast and the Beast is Me, but I have the ebook and I have the audiobook. I kind of am in the mood for a romance book, so I do kind of want to read Only When It's Us, but I also want to make way on my July noir TBR, so I think I'm going to start with that one first just to kind of get at least one book out the way and then move to Only When It's Us. I feel like I've been yapping for so long trying to explain both these readathons, and I literally have been yapping for a long time, but it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. As I said, I just got back from my trip yesterday at like 8 p.m. So all day I've just been catching up on work because I was out on Friday because I was going to Atlanta. So I was catching up on work this morning, and then obviously my boyfriend and I ate lunch. We watched a little bit of a show. I also need to finish unpacking because I've been kind of slowly unpacking all day, but I really need to do the clothes, but I'm gonna wait till probably my boyfriend leaves for work in about like 2 hours to do that. And also I do have a movie night tonight with my Patreon. We're watching Summer of '84, which I'm really excited for. But besides that, I don't really have many other plans for the rest of the day. So I hope that I can listen to quite a bit of the audiobook of I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. So I think I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I read on my Kobo for a little bit. And then once he leaves, I'm gonna start like fully unpacking my clothes and stuff like that.
Tell me if it's cash you like. You be acting classy like you don't really want it. You know that I blast you right. You can get it right on sight. If you really wanna talk that shit, I'm rooting for your Malibu rum. 5 steps from the BJ. Pouring up some shots, got me spinning like a DJ. If you keep me coming, I'll stay till the weekday. Now you wanna call now. Trying to come on over to my home now. What you want, I don't know what I want now. Guess we doing more than having fun now. I've been feeling ways. I've been thinking you would feel the same. I've been looking for a better space, nah, nah. I don't even got a heart to break, nah, nah. I've been feeling ways. Roll it up, smoke it like we ain't got time to waste. Promise I'm trying to put a smile up on your face. Remember how it felt when it was just a little taste? Cause I've been feeling ways. So what you mean right now? You've been making scenes right now. What you trying to tell me? Acting like a tease right now. You can get the D right now. Got a feeling that you want much more that I'm giving to you. Pull up to a spot, let's talk over sky views. Got some drinks at home, maybe after you can swing through. Since you're such a freak, I got something I could teach you. Now you wanna call now. Trying to come on over to my home now. What you want, I don't know what I want now. Guess we doing more than having fun now. I've been feeling ways. I've been thinking you would feel the same. I've been looking for a better space, nah, nah. I don't even got a heart to break, nah, nah.
It's really crazy how fast I drink boba. Like, this is a large, and I literally finished it in the drive back to my apartment, which is 5 minutes down the road. I don't know where it goes. It is the next day and I'm only about 1/4 of the way into I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me. I don't know what. I feel like I'm like hitting a wall. I think because in the first few days of the month I read so many books. Like, I think I read like 8 books in 10 days or something like that, which is a lot for me personally. And then I went on my trip and it kind of disrupted my reading a bit. And now I just like kind of feel like I want to like catch up on YouTube videos that I missed while I was on my trip and stuff like that. So I think honestly I would fare better reading a romance right now. So I'm going to try to pick up that Chloe Lease book, Only When It's Us, I think it is. So I think I'm going to start that one and see if I can get a little bit into reading that, because I feel like that's a little bit easier for me to read and like just kind of flow over me. I am liking I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. I had no idea what this book was about going into it, except that it was a YA horror book. But this is basically about this girl, and she's a black girl in the Parisian ballet scene. And obviously they kind of don't treat her the same because she is black, and this other girl who is very like looked up to within Parisian ballet like kind of takes her under her wing and brings her down to the catacombs of Paris and shows her basically kind of like this river of like blood that kind of like talks to people and tells her like this river will basically give you whatever you want, and she just has to like sacrifice her blood and she wishes for power. And that's all that I read so far, so I don't know what else is going to happen in the book, and I am liking it as I said, but I just feel like I've read so much thriller and horror books already this month, and I'm not really like in the mood for reading. And when I'm not in the mood for reading, I feel like a romance or a cozy mystery are the best books for me to read personally. I feel like they just flow over me so easy. So I think I'm gonna try that one. And we did get our weekly significator card. We got like the easiest one. Like I was really manifesting us to get a really easy one, and we got Temperance, which is read a book with an even number of pages. And all three of the books that I chose for this week so far on Goodreads are even number of pages. I'm going with Goodreads personally because I use Goodreads when I do my general tracking myself, like for my spreadsheet. I use Goodreads over everything else. I don't even use the physical copies. I just go based off what Goodreads says usually because I don't know, I like to keep it consistent, and I don't physically own all the books that I read. So I just prefer to do all of them on Goodreads so it's consistent between the books, and all of them are an even number of pages. Let me see. I have like a tracker that I've been using for this. Yes, I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me is 352. My Soul to Keep is 346, and Only When It's Us by Chloe Lease is 384. All those books for the significator, and I want to try and read this week for real, even though I'm kind of hitting a wall because I feel like it's such an easy significator that I can really get like every single book that I read to match that significator. So it's like 6:30 now. Work has ended. I literally ended up taking a nap in the middle of the workday, and I don't know how that happened. My boyfriend just asked me to lay with him for a little bit, and I accidentally fell asleep. So that happened. I don't have to cook dinner tonight. I'm cooking dinner tomorrow. We still have some food left. So I think I'm going to work a little bit on my TBR jar while I finish up the YouTube video that I'm watching, and then switch over to the audiobook of Only When It's Us. And then I'm trying to watch every single Pixar movie all the way through this summer. I was supposed to start back at the beginning of June, of course, but I literally have not even watched the first one because it took me like 2-3 weeks just for my family to figure out what the login was for Disney Plus. It was crazy. I've seen a lot of the classic Pixar movies, but I haven't really seen most of like the really recent ones that people love, like Coco. I've never seen Coco. I've never seen Turning Red. I've never seen any of those. So I just like love Pixar so much. I want to watch them all the way through. So I'm gonna try and watch a Pixar movie tonight. We did watch the other movie last night, Summer of '84, and I gave it 3.5 stars. I liked it, but I wanted it to be more like fun summer vibes, and it kind of went very bleak there at the end. And I could like bleak, but I feel like it started off really fun and then got bleak. I feel like if you're gonna be bleak, I like it to be bleak all the way through. If you're gonna be fun, I want it to be fun all the way through, you know? And so it kind of went fun to bleak, and that kind of, you know, wasn't my favorite in the story. And I thought we could also unbox these. This is my Aardvark and my Nightworms. I did not get book of the month this month. I skipped it because I didn't like any of the picks. There was a lot of like contemporary and literary fiction this month, which I do enjoy literary fiction, but very few and far between do I actually pick them up. And I didn't even realize that on Aardvark I can see which books I picked right here on top on the shipping label. I can't show y'all because it has my address, but I didn't even realize that. Okay, let's open up Aardvark first. I did pick these books. For Aardvark, you pick your books. For Nightworms, you don't. And Aardvark has a variety of genres. Nightworms is just horror, if you guys are curious. Like Nightworms is more like a curated box, and Aardvark is more like book of the month, where they have options every month and you could choose like 1 to 3. And so I did end up choosing 3. The first one I got is Salt Bones. This is the only one of the 3 that I didn't hear about. Like the other 2 are 2 of my most anticipated releases of the year. And I think this one is a horror book. It says 3 women in a twisted family race for answers. This gripping retelling of Persephone and Demeter set in the Mexicali borderlands. It sounds pretty good. I thought it would be a nice horror to add to my shelves. Then I got Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. I love Ashley Poston. I've read all 3 of like her adult kind of contemporary magical realism romances, and I've loved every single one. I know a lot of people didn't like her release last year, but I really liked it. I don't really know what this one's about. I'm guessing that it has something to do with music, but that's it. I just picked it up because it's another one of those types of books from her. And then I also got A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. This is the same author who wrote The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I love. And these 2 are technically not in a series. I thought they would be based off their covers because they look very similar, but they are just kind of like very similar vibes, where I know this has to do with a witch and she's running an inn, and that sounds amazing to me. Very cozy, very nice. So those are the 3 books I got from Aardvark, and this is the bookmark this month. If you guys are curious, let me put just one so y'all can really see it. It looks like this. They always do a different bookmark every month. Okay, so now moving on to Nightworms. I have to open her up. Here's Miss Nightworms. I hate how they like double package it because it just seems like so much plastic. I don't know. But I'm sure they have a reason for why they do that. I'm not sure. But It takes a minute to open, and it's also so much plastic. It might be like to protect it if it rains or something like that. Okay, I got it open, and I don't remember what's in here. Well, I feel like it was a book I'm as excited for. Let's see. Smile for the Cameras by Miranda Smith. This was not any of the ones that I was thinking, but this was one that was on my radar. It says an actress desperate to reclaim her fame must survive the real-life plot of the horror movie that made her famous in a psychologically twisted locked room thriller. Well, it's a horror book, but they always call like horrors thrillers and thrillers horror. I don't know what that's about. This one's kind of like going off those books. I feel like we had a lot last year where it's like horror movie books, like books based off like horror movie vibes, like, or have horror movies involved in the plot in some way. And I really didn't read that many. I was excited for a lot of them, didn't get to a lot of them, but that is one that's on my radar for this year. And then the second book is Beauty in the Blood. Normally the hardcover book is like a new release I've heard of, and then the other book is one that I haven't heard of. This one, oh, it's by a Black author. That's amazing. So this follows two characters. One of them is a young Black lawyer, and since the death of her mother, a force she can neither understand nor control is manipulating her memory, driving her to unexplained acts of violence. And at the same time, she is swept up in a highly charged relationship with a work colleague that presents a danger of its own. And then she moves through her privileged life in New York, and she learns how her past, her haunted history is intertwined with America's. And then we follow another character who was born working class, and she's worked as a prison guard, but she reinvents herself, and she has a passion for cooking, so she gets a position at a trendy soul food restaurant. But then an ex-inmate appears demanding her help to investigate her brother's shocking death, and so she's pulled into this role of a detective. It sounds actually pretty good, and I'm looking for more horror books by Black authors, so I'm really glad that they included this. And then you do get like a couple little goodies. It's normally some like stickers and like coffee or tea or something, which I'm not a big like coffee tea drinker. It kind of depends on what it is, but I don't feel anything this month. I don't know. So the little like treat this month is flower and fruit tea packs. See, I don't like the idea of like flowers, plus I don't like anything really floral, so like I probably won't use this. It's literally full of flowers and just sugar, so I probably won't use this. And then it also has the book plates, so they're signed for the two books. It has a bookmark of the theme this month, which was sharp edges, and I really like that it's knives. And then it also had two stickers. So this one has a skeleton with mushrooms and books, and I take photos of books is what it says, and he has a camera. And then this other one is just this girl with, I forget what that weapon is called. It's like the pointy ball that's on a chain. And so she's in some armor too, which I really like. So those are the things that I got in my book boxes this month. I'm really happy with my selections. Kind of mad that I'm adding 5 books more to my physical TBR, but it's okay. I added a lot recently because I went to Atlanta and they had half price books, which we don't have near me. That's the closest one to me. And I've only been to half price books a handful of times because I've only gone when I went to Texas. So I was really happy to go, and I ended up adding like 9 books to my physical TBR, and I'm trying to focus on getting my physical TBR down. I think I need to take some medicine because my head is starting to hurt a little bit, and then I'm going to start working on my TBR jar.
shadows in my room. Oh, always heard your voice, I forget the sound now. You're awfully quiet while I cry out for you. Oh, I know you don't have much to say, yeah, that's clear now. But I won't keep on giving you grace while my heart's broken. But you take the time away to clear your head out. But I had so much to say, and you let me get away still. Well, I still cry, I won't lie, but you'll never know if I'm fine. Am I alright? Well, you'll never know.
It's Friday. I don't remember the last time I talked to y'all. I know that I talked to y'all on Tuesday, but I don't think I talked to y'all on Wednesday, and I know I didn't talk to y'all yesterday. So I've been neglecting y'all, but I've also been neglecting reading. I haven't really been like in a reading mood. Like, I don't want to say I'm getting into a slump because I think it's like so early that I could definitely like pull myself out of it, but I haven't really been reading that much, especially yesterday. It was my niece and nephew's 4th birthday. They're twins. If you guys don't know, I have a niece and nephew. They're twins. They just turned 4, and so the whole day was basically like a family day. I did not really have time to read. I am like a third of the way into Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese, and I'm really liking this one. In this one, we're following Willa. She's a collegiate women's athlete who plays soccer, and Willa's kind of struggling in this one class that she's taking, especially because she plays soccer. She's sometimes late and stuff like that, and the professor isn't really as forgiving. But the man that she sits next to, Ryder, he gets all of the lecture notes from the professor, and so she asks him if she can borrow the notes because she was late because of soccer, and he completely ignores her. So she like hates him, she does not like him, and they're actually being forced to work together in pairs for their final project, and of course they get paired up. Turns out that Ryder is literally deaf and did not hear her, and that's why he gets lecture notes, because he is deaf. And I'm really liking this one so far. I really do love a like college romance. I do, but this one is kind of giving me flashbacks because this is the first college romance, and I think any book that I've read that takes place at like a university or college that I've read since graduating, and so I'm like, dang, like this is really giving me flashbacks. Like, it makes me miss it, but then also I'm like, dang, the classes and stuff, rough sometimes. I also do like a sports romance as well. I don't think I've ever read a soccer one. Soccer is like my least favorite sport, or like the one I'm least interested in. I would say basketball is the one I'm most interested in, but soccer, I've never really been interested in it. I never played it. I played a lot of sports growing up, and soccer was one of the only ones that I didn't play that is obviously like co-ed, or girls can play it too. Like, most girls aren't playing football, you know what I'm saying? So I never played football either, but girls can play football. I just personally did it. So I didn't really play football, I didn't play soccer, but besides that I played almost everything else. And I'm glad because this one does talk about her being a college athlete, but we're not getting a lot of like the actual soccer, which makes me happy because I'm, again, not really interested in soccer, but I still do like a sports kind of romance. And he also used to play soccer too before his hearing started to really get a lot worse. And what I also really like about this is that he is deaf. I really enjoy Chloe Leese's books because they have so much representation in them that we don't really see very often. And I actually took sign language in high school, and I fell in love with sign language. I love the deaf community so much, and so I love seeing a character that represents that. There are even things about him and like the deaf community that are being talked about that I didn't even know, and it's something that I am like really interested in, and I want to get more back involved with it because I used to be really involved in high school, and I kind of fell out of it because my school didn't offer sign language or anything like that. We didn't really have like anything for the deaf community on campus, so it's just not something that I'm really involved in anymore, but it's something that I have a great interest in. So I'm really just liking seeing him and his struggles, and also like him with his deafness and how it's unique to him, because deafness and being hard of hearing is so unique to each individual, and I really am liking how it is in this book. And I do think it is a little bit insta-lusty. I will say that's like the only thing I'm not really loving. I do feel like it is just a little bit insta-lusty. They did kind of dislike each other in the beginning, especially Willie didn't like Ryder, but like she began to understand like the reasons for why he's getting certain things and accommodations. She didn't know that he was deaf, and so like I understand why that dissipated so quickly, but I do feel like the lust came in kind of quickly. There hasn't really been like a sex scene yet so far, but they've gotten close, and we're only a third of the way in. So yeah, Chloe Leese's books are a little bit spicy from what I know. I've only read one, The Mistletoe Motive, and I liked it a lot. I think I gave it 4 stars. So we'll see what I end up rating this one. And I have not made any more progress in I Feed Her to the Beast and The Beast is Me. I'm still like a fourth of the way done. And so my goal today is to try and finish both these books. I'm not even halfway done in either of them. So we'll see. I really do have faith in myself. It's only 1 in the afternoon and I want to try and finish them by midnight. So I do have like 11 hours, and on my listening speed that I listen to audiobooks 3 times speed is what I'm listening to on both these books. It should take me about 5 hours, and it should take me about 5 hours, I think 5 hours and 20-ish minutes to finish both books. So I think that's like doable. Like that's like half the time for the rest of the day I need to be reading, and I think I could honestly do it. It's just like if I lock in or not, like if I actually read. I don't know. I have finished most of my obligations for the day. I had to finish editing a vlog, so I finished editing that. I did the majority of the work I had to do for the day already, so I have pretty much the rest of the day to do whatever I want, except I need to go to the gym. But like half the time in the gym, I listen to an audiobook, and the other half, I normally watch YouTube, like when I'm on the treadmill and stuff like that. So I think I can do it. And the reason I want to do this specifically is because this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, for the Tarot Readathon, it's really just me. I'm hosting a like mini 48-hour readathon within the Tarot Readathon. Like it's for the Tarot Readathon, but it's just kind of like an extra weekend that we're doing. I'm doing a lot of reading sprints to try and like motivate people to like really focus on reading this weekend if they are able to, whether they want to because they fell behind, they just want to get ahead, whatever they want to do. It's just kind of like a mini 48-hour readathon. So this weekend I'm really going to be focusing on reading, which is great because our weekly significator this week is so easy and I want to be able to read a lot of books for it. So I want to try and finish up these 2 books so I can go into the weekend fresh and like hopefully really be into the books that I'm reading, because I'm liking both these books but I'm not particularly in the mood for either of them. But I don't want to just abandon them because I still need to fulfill the cards anyway. So I am just going to try and finish them. This weekend I really just want to focus on reading because I really haven't read that much this entire week. I finished 1 book on Sunday, and then besides that I've read like 50%. Back in the groove because this month I am also trying to read 20 books in a month, and I'm like only a little bit behind. I've read 9 books, and at this point I need to have read it like 11 and a half. So I feel like this weekend I can like catch up on that too. There's just a lot of things going on in this brain, and I just want to be reading something else, but I don't want to DNF these books because I am liking them, and I don't want to just abandon the cards or like reassign something else with these cards. So I'm just going to try to power through today and get through them, and hopefully I enjoy the rest of both of them. But now I'm probably going to get ready to go to the gym and get my workout in right now, so then that way I can focus on reading for the rest of the day. The 48-hour readathon has commenced. It's noon already and I haven't read anything yet today because I literally fell asleep before midnight, but then I woke up at like 5 and I kept trying to go back to sleep for like 2-3 hours until probably like 8, and then I didn't wake up till like 11 because I was up for 3 hours in the middle of the night, and so that kind of disturbed things. And last night, as I said, I fell asleep before midnight, so I only ended up finishing Only When It's Us. I was listening to the audiobook, so I have the card in here. It's Counting for the Lovers, which I believe is read a book that has a romantic element in it, and it is an even number of pages, so I'm counting this for our significator, which is Temperance. I feel like there's one of my hairs like stuck to my face. And this one, I'm kind of having mixed feelings about. Like, I don't really know what to rate it. I feel like it's a 3 to a 3.5, which is kind of unfortunate because I thought I was going to love this series way more. And we are actually buddy reading this for my Patreon. We're doing a read along. So I don't know, maybe the other books in the series I would like, but my main complaint with this book and the reason that I'm rating it lower is because I didn't feel any chemistry between our main 2 characters. I actually really liked the male main character. I thought he was really fleshed out, really developed. Willa, our female main character, I wasn't the hugest fan of her. I didn't really like her that much, and I didn't like them together. And when I think of like Kennedy Ryan, for example, like when I think of how she writes her relationships and her chemistry, like this just simply does not compare. And so that just makes me draw back from the story and like want to rate it lower. But I did enjoy a lot of the really important discussions in here. As I said earlier, our male main character, he is dealing with his deafness. He got meningitis, so he went deaf kind of later in life, and he still has some hearing. Most deaf people have some sort of hearing still left. So he's kind of dealing with that and like hearing aids and talking while deaf and like just different issues that deaf people face. And our female main character, Willa, I forgot to mention that her mom is actually dealing with cancer in this book. It's her second time dealing with cancer, and I will say there is parental death in here and grief is talked about. And I liked all of those discussions, but at the core of the story, it's a romance. So I feel like the romance is the most important, and while I really appreciate it and I liked all those things, I didn't really like the romance. So that's why I'm like a 3.5. I think I'm gonna marinate on it for a couple days. Y'all will probably see what my official rating is because I've been inserting that into the clips where I talk about books, but it's gonna be like a 3 to a 3.5 for me. And I did make a little bit of progress in I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast Is Me. Not a ton, but I did make a little bit. Let's see, I listened to probably like 5% of it, so I don't really have much to say about that, and I'm liking it, but I don't think I'm like really in the mood for it right now, which is weird because I'm about to say some horror books I'm in the mood for, and I'm still gonna finish it this weekend, but I think I want to like redirect and maybe read something else first and then come back to it. So we're gonna pull some more cards, but I pulled some books that I'm in the mood for, so we can try to get these on here. So here are some. I do have also one that I want to read that I don't physically own, but I really want to read King of Ashes. I'm gonna be reading it this upcoming week anyways because I need to read it for my book club, my in-person book club, but this one has an odd number of pages, so I cannot read it for this. And then also Shy Girl I want to read, and those are both for July Noir, so I really need to get them read. But Shy Girl on Goodreads, all the editions for the most part have an odd number of pages, and I've been using Goodreads this whole time, but then when I look at my copy, it has an even number of pages, 214. And then I think on Goodreads it literally says it has like 240 something pages, and this copy only has like 214. So I don't know what that's about. But this one, I don't know, like, if I would count it towards the significator, so I'll put it aside, even though I'm like, none of the rest of the books that I have are for July Noir, except the one I don't physically own, which is Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. I've read all of Tiffany D. Jackson's work. This is her middle grade debut. She usually writes YA, and I've literally loved all of her work, so I want to read this one. I also do like middle grade. I feel like middle grade is a, like, age group that I don't read often, but when I do, I love it every single time, and so I really want to read that one. It's her new release. And then I also got Guillotine recently, which I also have the audiobook for. I have it from Libra FM. It was an ALC when it first came out last year, so I still have access to that. And so this is a good potential that I just recently bought the physical copy. I love Bloom by this author, and I've heard good things about this. And then I have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I have been wanting to read this because I love the Part of Your World series so much that I want to read the rest of Abby Jimenez's backlist. And then I also recently picked up Every Time I Go on Vacation Someone Dies. This is like a summery cozy mystery, and I love a cozy mystery, and it's summer, so this is the perfect time. I do have 2 books outstanding because I have I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast Is Me, and I pulled another card, which I got My Soul to Keep by Tanana Reeve. I forget what the prompt is, but that's the book I picked for, and I want to keep those 2 books because those are both for July Noir, but I'm really not in the mood for My Soul to Keep. I'm still going to finish I Feed It to the Beast because I'm liking it, but I am going to pull probably like 2 or 3 more cards just to kind of like get me through the weekend and see what else I can read, because I know for a fact I'm not going to read My Soul to Keep this weekend, and I Feed Her to the Beast I'm going to finish this weekend, but I want to read like 5 things, so I might as well pull like 2 or 3 cards. So let's go pull some cards.
Said you needed space, said you needed more time to think, so you went away, but you still would stay in my dream. Now you're back for more. Why you in my reality? My head closed the door, even though my heart just won't leave. That was then, can't go back, hurts so bad.
The deck is honestly super nice to me. I don't know why, but I also got the Knight of Cups, which I've been wanting to low-key knock out all of Cups. I don't remember how many I have now, probably like half, but Knight of Cups is to read a book with a character going through emotional turmoil, and for this one I think I'm going to choose Blood in the Water because, one, there's like this supposed shark attack happening in that book, and I would think that would cause emotional turmoil with people dying, but then it turns out that it's like a murder, I believe, so that alone I think would cause emotional turmoil. But then also I think our main character in the book is dealing with a father who is incarcerated, and to me that would definitely cause emotional turmoil. I heard that's like a big element of the book, so I'm choosing that for Knight of Cups, and it's a middle grade. It's super quick, so I should be able to get through that pretty fast. And then the other card that popped out was The Devil, which is read a book that has mixed reviews, and I'm gonna go with The Friend Zone. This does have like a 3.8 3.9, but amongst my friends on Goodreads, it has a 3.49, and I see it right off the bat a 2 stars, a 5 stars, a 1 star, a 3 star, a 1 star, a 3 star, a 4.5 star, a 4 star, a 4 star, a 5, a 4, a 4, a 4.5, a 2 star, a 4, a 4, a 5, a 5, a 1 star, a 3 star, a 2 star. Like literally people are rating this 1 to 5 stars, so I think this one would definitely count for mixed reviews. And then I ended up pulling one more card because Blood in the Water is so short, so I got The Hermit, and this one's actually pick a book / read a book that you think that you can read in a few sittings. And so I decided to go with Guillotine because this one's also short and I have the audiobook of it. So Guillotine and Blood in the Water are both pretty short, and I think I can finish them pretty fast, which is good for our weekly significator because both of these are even pages. Well, all the books I chose are even pages, actually all of them are. So Guillotine is like a horror book that I think has to do with like the rich. Blood in the Water is kind of like a black middle grade with giving Jaws vibes, but it's like a murder mystery. Then I have The Friend Zone, which is a full-length adult novel, but it's a romance by Abby Jimenez. And then I still want to read I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast Is Me, which is a YA horror book, which I'm also liking. I think I can get a decent portion done today, especially because I'm doing reading sprints tonight for the 48-hour readathon, and my boyfriend's going to be at work, so I think I will get a lot done on reading sprints. I don't know if this is too ambitious, but I think I can fully read Guillotine, Blood in the Water, and I Feed Her to the Beast. I think that I can do all this because I Feed Her to the Beast is a little bit longer, but I'm already like almost a third of the way into that one. And then that would leave The Friend Zone for tomorrow, which I might choose another book depending on how much I get through today and how much I am reading this tomorrow. But I would also really like to pick up this book. Like I really would love to pick up this book. So we'll see what I actually get to. I want to try and go to the pool today too. I'm not gonna lie though, my period came like 3 days early and it's really bad. Like it's bad, okay? So I don't know how much I'm gonna get up to, but that's kind of good because I could just stay in bed and read. I think I'm gonna start off with Blood in the Water because I'm really excited to read that one. I think it's gonna be amazing. So I think that's what I'm gonna start off with first, and then I'll probably try to switch to I Feed Her to the Beast and then back to Guillotine. But I am recognizing that all of those are kind of like horror leaning, so I may pick up The Friend Zone instead of Guillotine today, because I may want like a romance to like break it up, you know. But I just finished a romance, so we'll see how I fare. But I think I'm gonna start with Blood in the Water first. I'm gonna try to make this update quick because I'm on reading sprints and we have 3 minutes left of the sprint, and it is a little bit later. It's like 9:42 and I just finished up my first book of the day because earlier I really didn't feel well. I did not end up going to the pool. I didn't feel well and I was starting to feel anxious too, and sometimes, especially when I start to feel anxious, I honestly just need to take a nap, and I already was kind of in pain. So I took a long nap with my boyfriend because he takes a nap before he goes to work. So I napped with him and then kept napping even after he left. After I woke up from my nap, I started and finished Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I'm giving 4 stars. I think it is a really great middle grade book. We're following our main character, and she has a dad who is incarcerated. She does not believe that he was actually the perpetrator of the crime that he was, you know, jailed for, and that's like a big thing for her. Her mom and her dad decide they're going to send our main character away for the summer to Martha's Vineyard with another black family that they know who that's extremely rich. And while she's there, she is mostly hanging out with their daughter who is around the same age as them, but they also have an older daughter, and the older daughter ends up getting convinced by the younger daughter because the younger daughter wants to be older. She wants to act older even though they are middle school children. She convinces her older sister to take them to this party, and her older sister used to date this guy who ends up getting killed, but it is made to look like a shark attack. And so this does kind of have a little bit of Jaws vibes in it because there is talks of shark attacks and seeing sharks around Martha's Vineyard. It ends up being found out that it's a murder, and our main character and her friend that she's with end up trying to investigate and figure out who murdered the man, because the older sister is starting to become kind of under fire by the police because they used to date and she was one of the last people to see him. I really like this one. I think it is a good murder mystery. I love a good murder mystery, and so we are investigating a murder. I think there was talks of like corruption and incarceration that were touched on that I think were handled really well, especially for the age group. I think this would be a great middle grade for children to read, especially if they do like kind of like a murder mystery or they're like interested in sharks or something like that. I also liked seeing kind of the class disparities that were talked about heavily in this book because there are a lot of rich black people in Martha's Vineyard, but then our main character comes from a more impoverished background, and she often discussed the classist kind of disparity between between the people that she's staying with and her actual reality, and I thought that was really well done. I liked her main character a lot. I liked the side characters, and I really liked the way that it went in the end. It was something that I did not expect to happen at all, but I really did enjoy how it went. It was pretty shocking, and I think that this is another great Tiffany D. Jackson book. I think I said I'm rating it 4 stars, and now I'm going to start on Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. I think I'm actually going to eat, but then after that I'm going to start getting into Guillotine while I'm on reading sprints, and I'm hoping to start and finish that tonight. And I don't think that I'm going to finish I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me, but I'm hoping to at least make more progress in that tonight as well. I just wrapped up reading sprints, and I was able to start and finish Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson while working on my TBR jar, and I really don't know what I'm gonna rate this yet. Like Blood in the Water, I feel like I know like is a 4 star. This one I don't know because I did really like it, but earlier this year I read the graphic novel Eat the Rich by Sarah Gailey, and I feel like this one is very similar to that graphic novel. Like it's literally that but in book form. There's a couple obviously little different things between the stories, but they are very similar, where it's about a woman who is going to this remote location for a man that she's with to meet his rich family, and the rich family basically treats the servants like indentured servants and have done really horrible things to them, and the servants begin to uprise, and our main character is kind of stuck in the middle between this rich family and these servants that are like taking their agency back, and literally both of them are both about that. And in this one, the only big difference I can pinpoint that's different from Eat the Rich is that our main character, she doesn't necessarily like this man. In Eat the Rich, she loves the man and wants to get engaged to him, which is why she's meeting the family. Versus in this one, our main character is involved in fashion, and she wants to get a higher paying job or like an opportunity to work at like a fashion magazine or something like that. And I think it's the mom of the man that she met who is a like high profile person at this fashion magazine, and that's why she's going to this island to try and meet her. She does not care about the man. She doesn't like him. She is using him to literally just get close to his mom to be able to hopefully get an opportunity at this fashion magazine. But besides that, these stories are pretty similar. I think it's hard for me to say. Like, I feel like this one is gorier in ways, but in Eat the Rich, you actually got to see the gore, so it's kind of hard to compare them. But I did really like both of them. It just felt repetitive. Like, it felt like I was rereading a story, honestly, even though one was a graphic novel and one was a novel. It's kind of hard to rate because would I have loved this if I didn't read Eat the Rich earlier this year? Probably. But since I already read that book, I felt like this already talked about a lot of themes in a very similar way to another book or graphic novel that I already read, because obviously the heaviest theme in this one is classism. And it talks a lot about classism. Both our main character and the servants at this location are like very poor, obviously, versus this super uber wealthy rich family, and like that dichotomy is very interesting to explore. And this one also, I feel like, compared to Eat the Rich, dives a little bit more into the patriarchy and how that impacts specifically women in this story and women in this family. I think that they had a level of agency, the rich women, but also didn't. Like, they had choices to make, but they still were part of this family, knowing what was going on when they could have left. Would they have been like poor and like way worse off? Yes, but they still had that choice. And I also liked those discussions as well. So I don't know, I think I'm gonna land probably like a 3.5 because I did enjoy it, and I think I would have enjoyed it more if I didn't read Eat the Rich. It's kind of just one of those things where like I didn't know this one was gonna be so similar to that one, and if I did, I may have read this one first because I was way more excited for this than Eat the Rich. I just had Eat the Rich checked out from the library and just decided to read it one day. So I feel like I would have liked this one more if I read it first, but you know, at least we knocked off The Hermit, which is to read, I dropped it, which is to read a book that you think you can finish in a few sittings, and I did finish this in one sitting. And I think now I'm going to move back to I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me and make some progress in that tonight. It is like past midnight, so I don't know how much of that I'm going to get read tonight. I am up because I took a nap, but I also have to be up at like 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow because I have a beauty appointment at 10. So I low-key need to like go to sleep not too late. So we'll see, but I'm hoping to make a little progress in that tonight. But I also kind of want to watch some YouTube. So, you know, I might alternate between them. Sorry if you guys hear my blinker. It is the next day. I am now, I'm making a turn. Hopefully y'all don't fall. There we go. I did it successfully. It is the next day, and I am now like 50% into I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and I'm liking it, but it's very, very heavy, I feel like, on the ballet so far, and not really like as horror forward, which is fine. I just didn't know that it was ballet going in, and it's very, very focused on the ballet. So if that's something that you're interested in, you may like this one. I'm like fine with it. I want more horror, and I feel like it's dragging. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I split up this book so much, but it is like pretty long for it being a YA book. It's 12 hours on audio, which is fairly long, I would say, for a YA book, especially when that's not fantasy. Like, most YA horror books are like 8 to 10 hours, I would say. So it just feels like it's taking a long time to like get to the true action of the story. Like, we've had her go down into the catacombs, and you know, she has, sorry if you guys hear something, there's something up with my car, but she's gone down to the catacombs, she's went into like this river, and like things are slowly happening, but not really like as horror as I thought it would be. But it is also a duology, so maybe we'll get more horror in the second book. But I'm heading to Walmart now to do my weekly grocery shopping. I fully cleaned out the fridge today, which was a task. I normally clean out the fridge like every Sunday, like clean it out, like take out old leftovers and stuff like that, but I went through like every single thing that was in the fridge, took out the drawers, took out the shelves, washed it all in the sink. Like, I really did the whole fridge clean out today. So yeah, and because I did that, I decided to treat myself to my favorite little place. This is called Scooters. They are like a coffee shop, as y'all can see, but they also have these things called Red Bull infusions, and I got a new type of thing today. I always get the coconut. I don't know what it is. I love the coconut, especially like this time of year. I love the coconut, and I normally get just the plain sugar-free Red Bull, but they have a summertime one, which is like white peach. So I got double coconut and white peach, sugar-free. Let's see. I actually like it. I think it's pretty good. I think it's good. That was my little treat for cleaning out the fridge. And I was low-key hungry, and they have this spicy sausage burrito that I really like. And I feel like it's like not too heavy. It's something quick, but it's like filling because it has all like that sausage and cheese in it. So I feel like this is like the perfect little, it's not snack. It's between a snack and a meal. You know what I'm saying? So like, since I'm going to Walmart, I always hate grocery shopping when I'm hungry because I feel like I just be picking up shit and putting it in the cart. So hopefully this way it'll kind of mitigate that. But yeah, we're going to Walmart. Love a little Walmart. And then I'm hoping to go to the pool today since I didn't go to the pool yesterday. I'm still low-key fighting for my life, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. And I am hoping to, you know, just have like a productive but also relaxing Sunday.
Thought that I would be a bit at peace by now. Yeah, you're lying in the shadows of my room. Oh, always heard your voice, I forget the sound now. You're awfully quiet while I cry out for you. Oh, I know you don't have much to say, yeah, that's clear now. But I won't keep on giving you grace while my heart's broken. But you take the time away to clear your head out. But I had so much to say, and you let me get away still. Well, I still cry, I won't lie, but you'll never know. You'll never know if I'm fine. Am I alright? Well, you'll never know. You'll never know. You took this path on your own time without giving us a try. So love at the right point, and now you're leaving when it gets hard. Should've kept it straight from the jump. Why'd we come this far to get this far? I should leave it alone, 'cause there's no proof of you staying. Your mind was made up a couple months ago. Oh no, I know you don't have much to say, yeah, that's clear now. But I won't keep on giving you grace while my heart's broken.
I thought you was gonna talk about your books.
Today we'll be talking about the globe. Look at it. Well, this one doesn't spin that well, but with the globe there comes many different places, and in these places you find many different things. On this globe we're going to North America, specifically Raleigh, North Carolina, where I found these two books. I don't know what the fuck these books are. I just seen them. I like the covers. That's why I got them. But hey, this one's talking about murder. It says it's a buzzkill. That's why it's called Buzz. Who the fuck comes up with this shit? I don't know. But yeah. Then this one is A Year of Wonders. It's got a lady on it. She kind of looks I don't know, depressed a bit. So hey.
It's about the plague.
Why are you interrupting my video?
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, I can't have shit to myself around here. It's about the plague. I was getting to that. We kind of resemble each other a bit. But anyway, yeah. These are my two books. Check back next. In about 2 weeks, I will tell you how they go. I may not read them at all. I won't lie to y'all. Bye.
It's Monday, so this reading vlog has concluded, and this morning, I know technically I was supposed to finish it yesterday, but I finished it this morning. I only had like an hour on the speed I was listening to of I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and as you guys could probably tell, I have been saying that, oh, I'm liking this book, I'm liking this book. I don't think I did. It took me the entire week to finish it, like a whole week, and I literally read 3 other books in the time that I was reading that one book, and I didn't really like it. I feel like it was really slow. It was really repetitive. I enjoyed the commentary of like the ballet scene and how it's really favorable towards like rich, white, thin people, and our main character isn't that. But it didn't really like go as far as I wanted to with that commentary, especially on like the racism element of it. And I just felt like it was really slow. Like it was really a drag to read. I thought like the demon monster, like kind of god person was interesting too, but I feel like I wanted more of it. We didn't get as much as I wanted of that element, and maybe we get more in the second book. And then also like there are some things that I felt like weren't explained in this story, and I feel like maybe those also get explained in the second book, but I don't think I'm gonna continue. It's literally a duology, and I still don't even want to finish it because I didn't even want to finish the first book. I really gaslit myself into thinking that I was liking it when I definitely wasn't, which I feel like was obvious, and I honestly should have DNF'd it, but so many people I know love this book, and I really thought that I was gonna love it too. So the fact that I'm gonna give it 2 stars kind of hurts me, but it's okay. It's okay. And I think it low-key put me into a bit of like a slump. I was already a little slumpy, and then reading that book kind of made it worse. But we did still finish 4 things this week. 2 of them were like shorter, but I still finished quite a bit. So I finished Only When It's Us by Chloe Leese, and this was for the lovers, which is read a book that has a romantic element in it. So I finished this one, and then I finished Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson for Knight of Cups, which is to read a book that has a character in it that has emotional turmoil or is going through emotional turmoil. And so that one I like too. Well, Only When It's Us I gave 3 stars, and then Blood in the Water I gave 4 stars. And then I read Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson, which I read for The Hermit, which is to read a book that you think that you could finish in a few settings. Like I liked a lot about it, but there were also some issues that I had with both of them. And then lastly, Ace of Wands, which was to read a book by a new to you author or in in a genre that you haven't really explored before. And for this, I read I Feed It to the Beast and the Beast is Me, which I give a 2 stars. So overall, I didn't have the best reading week. We had a lot of 3 and 2s and then only 1 4-star. So that's kind of tragic, but it's okay. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. If you made it to the end, you can leave the moon emoji down below and I'll see you on the next one. Bye everybody.
I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking the moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, taking your life that I had you. If you got my number, don't add me, 'cause baby,